Want that. Special delivery. I need that. Special delivery. Welcome to the Special Delivery Podcast. I am your host, Special, and on this show, I like to do one of two things. Either I'm delivering you brand new music that's dropped, or I'm sitting down with artists to break down their latest music, and that's what we're doing on this episode. Longtime friend of the show, Thurz, joined me to break down all his latest music, including all the features that he's done in the past year or so, with everyone from Anderson Paak to rapper Big Pooh, Nana, Davion Farris, and so many more. Plus, we talked about his concert series, Party in My Living Room, and what to expect from his upcoming album. So let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Thurz. I'm from Inglewood, California. Here with Miss Special.
Yes.
Chilling.
Thurz is here. How are you?
I'm good.
Man, one of my favorite people in the world. On this episode, we're basically going to play catch up. You've done so many dope features, worked with so many dope people in the past year or so, and we just got to get into all of them.
For sure.
We're going to start with Davion Farris, Inglewood.
Yeah.
Tell that I'm from Inglewood. Do it well, cause I'm from Inglewood. My swag is all Inglewood. And my dad is all Inglewood. My brother's all Inglewood.
Raised on that 500 block. A king on that Queen Street, dribbling my rock. Basketball was life, wanted to ball like McKinney.
I feel like that one was pretty autobiographical for the both of you.
Yeah.
What was it like making that one?
Man, it was real cool. We initially met at this picnic that my boy organized for We Raise Our Kids. And my boy Bliff, rest in peace, he had introduced us. He was like, yo, man, you guys need to work. And I was aware of Davion just through his brother. I'm real cool with his brother, Sir, and his other brother, D Smoke. You know, that we've been in a few sessions together. And me and Sir have done a lot of records together that haven't came out yet. But this event called Bass and Trouble in Inglewood. And I see Davion perform a few times. I was like, oh, man, he's super dope. And I always heard about his writing and everything that he's been doing. I never really got a chance to meet and chop it up with him. But at that picnic, we got to chop it up. Bliff ended up passing, and, you know, we were at the funeral. We're like, yo, man, we definitely got to link up and do something in honor of Bliff. And, you know, we had this record called Inglewood that, you know, Davion was working on. I was like, man, there's no better record to really represent for Bliff. So we did that. Yeah, did like an autobiography of myself, just mentioning a lot of different things that were dear to me when growing up in Inglewood and a few friends that I grew up with. So that was a dope experience to, you know, reflect and put something down that, you know, will live forever.
And it was so dope, the two of you, to come together being from Inglewood, because I think with Insecure and just all of these things happening that are dope for Inglewood, it's been like, ooh, Inglewood's the place to be now. But it's like, no, to have two people from here really break it down and tell you about it, I think that that's so important, because we can already tell that the rent's going to go up there. You know what I mean? It's going to get a little gentrified. So it's like we need people really from there to talk about it.
For sure.
Then we got to get into Follow the Leader.
Yeah.
Mr. Rapper Big Pooh.
Let them boys cook. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Everybody want that new, say that new, play that new, that new. How about you? How you the illest in the world without a passport? Y'all be on that back, fork, can't afford no fork. Silverware, silver line, at least you got your shit. How a nigga really eating here? I ain't up in no court unless I'm full pressing on your ass. And my God,
that track is so much fun. And it's, in a way, it's not dissing, but it's like, hey, that's not me. And really being like, you guys could do that, but I'm not going to do that. What was it like making that one?
Man, well, first, shout out to Big Pooh, man. That dude has looked out since, you know, I really been doing this stuff since you and I doing like the Beautiful Day remix. Big Pooh's always, you know, lended his vocals and just been a person showing love, man. Whether, you know, we were on the basketball court with him and Big Dog. That's just funny, man. You just got to imagine Big Pooh on the court, him and Big Dog. Oh, yeah, that's my guy, man. So him and Focus, they reached out to me to do the record. And I was more than down, man. You know, Big Pooh's a legend, you know. So I would never say no to do anything with those guys. And, you know, for him to have me on that record that's solely produced by Focus, who's another big homie of mine, you know, I was honored. And, you know, they loved how it came out. So, the response to it has been really positive. So, yeah, man, it's just a family situation, a family affair, and I'm glad they had me on there.
And that album, the whole thing is so good.
Yeah.
Man, so for you to be a part of that, we were excited. Oh, shit, this is so good. It did. Ooh, there's Thurz. It was so good.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Then, newcomer to me, Nana.
Yeah.
He released his project called Nana's EP. You did a song called Problem.
You don't want no problems.
Oh, no problems.
Mama say your prayer, she know that devil plot on me. Every breath is priceless, but I see it took for free. Mama say your prayer, she hold her rosary for me. Hope I see tomorrow, and the Lord upstairs agree.
Woke up in the morning like, damn, had a dream.
It's a little darker and aggressive, but it feels necessary. Sometimes you have to go there, and it's still such a good sound, and you're kind of almost chanting while you're rapping. It's kind of takes over the listener in a sense. It really demands your attention. What was it like making that one?
Man, Banana's the homie, man. Known him for a few years. I have him come to the studio a few times and do a lot of records. It's a little crew of rappers that I like to bring around. Him, Fat Ron, the homie Escrow. Yeah, I like their energy and their thoughts. I just like having them in the studio with me and creating with them. And Nana has been pushing the ball on his efforts of being recognized as an elite MC. He asked me to come through and do the chorus on that record. And we just kind of built it up from scratch, man. And, I love his voice. I love the content that he puts into his work. So, anybody that's the homie like that, I'm always down to assist or do whatever I can to help, And he's also rocked the party in my living room. He's, done some really good performances there. So, all the family, man, I love working with the homies, man. I feel like there's a relationship there. Those are the people that I want to work with, the people I have relationships with. So, shout out to Nana. Yeah.
Speaking of party in my living room, what you guys got coming up next?
Man, I definitely got to do LA. LA is overdue. Just with the workload I've had in the past year, I was only able to do one party this past year in Chicago, and that went crazy. So I know next time I do LA, it's going to be insane. Just so it, bringing all the homies back together, having new music out, new videos, and just bringing it back for the city. But also have St. Louis coming up for the Mardi Gras out there on March 2nd. So that's going to be really cool, starting to put all that stuff together now. So it's going to be exciting, man. And definitely looking back to traveling to Chicago and doing New York for the first time. So it's going to be a lot of cool cities. Oakland, got to bring it up to the Bay. It's going to be crazy.
Oakland, if you got a living room, we need it. Party in my living room. Tap in. Let's get this going.
For sure.
I don't have a living room, but I know somebody does. We got to make this happen.
Right.
With Party in My Living Room, I know you've talked about it a lot, but for the people who are new to it, what was the idea behind that? How has it kind of grown? It's really your baby and such a dope experience. What was the idea behind it?
Man, I was always doing events in LA, since the college days, just doing shows, hip-hop shows, doing a lot of parties. At LMU, throwing parties outside of LMU, and I was just able to tap in with the community of people and wanted to have a good time. So I continued to do that when I was managing this store in downtown, and I was doing work with Red Bull, helping to curate different things for Sound Select, and put out an EP. And I wanted to just get more promo behind it. I wanted to use a grassroots approach. So I just implemented a lot of tactics that I was learning from the culture department and a lot of my experience with throwing events. And I was like, man, it would be dope to just throw a house party and perform this record with my band in the living room and have a real party and do it in Inglewood for the first time. So that was the birth of it. That was in 2015. I did 4 that first year. In 2016, I did 8. 2017, I did 10. And then I slowed up for this past year just because every night I was in the studio. I was going off for 2 hours of sleep every day. I was just, focusing on the creative of, making songs for this past year. So I'm about to rev it up a little bit more. I'm still going to be in the studio, but just trying to balance everything since I have more focused idea of how I want to present everything. So, a part of my living room is going to be, make a big splash this year again.
man, from 2015, it feels like it was just a couple months ago, but it's like, man, that's 4 years. That's dope. We're so excited for more of them. But I mean, even just within this episode, we're learning all this work that you've been doing this past year that we've actually heard on top of this stuff that we haven't even heard yet. So it's like, no, it makes sense. The fact that you even did one last year is incredible, because it's like you've been working. It's nuts. That leads us to Introverted.
How a million make you feel like you was in a cell. Underwater dissolving all my emotions like a pill. Trying to kill my pain and all my ills. All the thrills is gone. All the scales been shown. All the venom ejected. Paralysis got my...
K.A.A.N and them Jointz dropped a project called Pure Intentions. The song Introverted. What was that like linking up with them?
Man, K.A.A.N, that's my guy, man. He's from Maryland. Jointz is from Compton. K.A.A.N is them Jointz artist. And we were doing a lot of work together, you know, over at Aftermath. We did a few records, a lot of records actually, and those two made it onto their project. The song Introverted, it was just kind of like giving you a perspective that we were kind of sharing at the time, where we kind of were detached from everything that was occurring outside of like our little space. We almost felt like introverts detached from the normal goings-ons in society. And, you know, growing from different things that we used to do, and almost puts you in a position where you feel you're growing and you can't do the same things you did in the past. And, you know, that relationships might change with people who don't share the same mind state. So we're just reflecting on that in that record. And I love how it came out. And then we did another cool one on there. What was that one called again?
Rain.
Rain.
I love Rain.
Yeah, Rain is really cool. Those records happen around the same time, and they got like a really good reception, and they work crazy, man. They do a lot of different songs in one day. So I was just seeing how they work and just taking different things, learning different things. But yeah, I'm just learning from everybody. Those are the homies, man, and you know, they help me out a lot.
Yeah, I feel like that project is such a coming of age project.
I agree.
Now we gotta talk about Oxnard.
Right.
Anderson Paak, incredible album. You had additional vocals on Mansa Musa.
Never gave you niggas money. Hey, watch your mouth, boy. You don't ball, boy. You be maxing out credit cards, boy. I'm a cash cow. You a Hogwarts. Tell you anything, you a fall for. Keep the peace. You don't really want war. While the mean mug, that's some call for. Now I'm back on my bullshit. I got some.
Illustrate that for us, cause man, oh man, that project, that track, just so good.
Man, Anderson is a genius, man. I've been a fan of him for a long time, since the Breezy Lovejoy days, and his live show is incredible. It's nothing like him playing the drums and singing, and his band just being in tune with him. So I've been a fan of that guy for a minute. I love the No Worry stuff. That's probably my favorite stuff. You know, him and Knowledge. Love that album. Yes, Lord. It's actually in my CD player right now. Stuck. My CD player stopped working. Can't drive those cars no more with CD players, man. It's 2019 now.
At least it got stuck on a good one, though.
Yeah.
You got lucky.
Yeah. You know, I was been over at Aftermath for like the past year, and then Anderson, he's an Aftermath artist. So while I was working on different records with Dre, AP was in there just, you know, tidying up his record. Did this song with Dr. Dre. Me and my boy Black wrote it with Dre. We just having fun with it, you know, playing with the concept of Mansa Musa. Dre kind of geared or steered the direction of the verse, and me and him just bounced ideas of where to take it. And it came out pretty crazy. He laid his vocals, and then Anderson loved it so much that he wanted to put it on his project. So that was incredible. I didn't even expect it to be on Oxnard, but he killed it. You know, I love how Oxnard came out, and anything in the future that Anderson is going to do is going to be even on a higher level, because he's a workhorse. And he, like, you know, puts out so much great content. So it's going to be real cool.
I love it. Now, Tamir and Professor H's Circle.
Yeah.
I love the story behind this one. They really are working towards a live hip-hop album inspired by 70s jazz and soul, paying homage to the aesthetic and sample-based grit and color of the beat scene.
Yeah.
Like, concept on top of concept. It's beautiful. What was that like? Goodness gracious.
Man, those guys are really cool, man. Tamir, he was actually in my first band. So he used to be the percussionist in my band. I met Professor H initially with Glenn Gonda, my first engineer over at SAE and True Studios. So just, knowing them over the years, and then, knowing that they were coming together to do a project, I was excited, and they hit me up. This is like a while ago too, when we were really going in on this. They hit me up to come to Red Bull Studios, and they had it locked down for like a week. So I just came in for like a day, and they were just throwing records at me, and I was like, all right, I write that, I can do that.
Broken promises, broken hearts, broken glass. A champagne trying to celebrate a broken past. Praise to that Most High for how he pieced me back. My butterfingers were faith for how I broke my fast. Trying to abstain from alcohol and ass in a house of broken spirits.
And I just did like 2 or 3 records with them, like in a few hours. The room was really cool. Everybody was excited. So that was the first record, The Here and Now. That was the first record that we did. And then another record called Naima. That was pretty crazy.
Dog in Pandora's box. Now tell me what we gon' conceive. Responsibility's a shadow stuck to my foot in the light, impossible to leave. Might as well roll up my sleeve. Might as well roll up this weed. Might as well cough up a real, but she naive. Naima follows as a reaction. Her maiden name got me singing.
And just the vibe of it was really soulful, really dope. I love what they're doing. And they're putting their heart into it, and they're really invested. So those are the homies, man. Just like I was saying earlier, anybody I got that relationship with, always down to assist and collaborate and all that stuff.
Yes. And then your album.
Yeah.
Don't want to apply too much pressure, but what do you want to tell us about your upcoming album?
It's crazy, man. Like, I don't have a title. I've been putting out titles for a while, and it's just stuff just keeps evolving, but I'm gonna just let the music speak for itself, and let all the content and the events kind of just all tell the story that it's supposed to tell. But I'm definitely excited, definitely grown and evolved, definitely like my vocal presence on records. Excited for people to hear the new stuff and the new ownership of my voice and these ideas that I'm going to be displaying on new records. So it's exciting, man. Definitely can't wait to perform some of these records. But yeah, it's going to be a good year.
I love the evolution though, because I think a lot of artists, they tie themselves to things and they don't know how to kind of stop and be like, oh no, like you could have put out the album title and then made yourself stick to it and didn't really go through the stages of evolution and let it kind of be what you're letting it be now. So I think it's so important for you to take that step back and be like, oh no, it's not titled that anymore, and that's okay. That evolution is so exciting to us as listeners to be like, no, we want to know how you really feel. Maybe a little bit of how you felt then, but don't force it. Like, we want to see just how you feel. So I think that's dope.
That's right.
Anything else you want to tell the people?
Man, nothing's on my mind right now. Nothing's on my mind. I just been writing treatments, writing down all these different ideas and concepts, because it helps with the songwriting and it just helps with the visual presentation. So I've been working. Working.
We're seriously so excited. Like, the visuals that you've dropped in the past fucking 10 years, have just been so dope, and just seeing that growth. So it's like, to hear that you're writing treatments really is exciting. Like, oof, I cannot wait.
Thank you.
No problem. Just been such a dope friend since the college radio days, and
Likewise.
Always making incredible music and always down to link. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you for keeping your eye on me, keeping your ear open to what I've been doing, and giving me a platform to be heard by your peers and your fans. So thank you. Appreciate you.
No problem. And thank you so much for checking out this episode. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that follow or subscribe button on whatever you're listening on, and then reach out to me. Just say hi, tell me what your favorite part was, anything like that. I'm on Twitter at SpecialSays, and on Instagram it's at SpecialSays as well. As always, this episode is dedicated to Marlon. Do what you can to stop senseless acts of gun violence.